Howdy. On this video I'm going to give you guys the top 3 drills that you should be practicing if you carry a pistol every day. And by the way, I don't care if you carry it concealed or open carry or whatever it is, practice these drills the way that you usually carry each day. We will be using the appendix carry position. We've got our custom holster here made by Falco Holsters in partnership with 307 Project. We helped Falco design this holster around the features that we wanted to see in a holster, and this one fits the bill. So if you want to check that out, there'll be a link to this particular holster in the description of this episode. The pistol that we're going to be using today is the one I've been carrying for a little while now. It's got a bunch of maple syrup still on the slide because I spilled a jug of maple syrup in my truck seat and it was sitting in there with it, but I think we can work around that. This is just a old school Glock 43, nothing special about it, with a Trijicon, I don't know, what is this thing called, a RMR or something on the top of it, something like that, little red dot sight. So these are simple drills. I'm going to show them to you, and you guys get out on the range and practice them. When you go to the range, don't just shoot off a bunch of random rounds. Actually have a purpose for the time that you're spending out there. This will help you with that. Let's get out there. All right, sweet. So we're gonna go ahead and load our pistol up. First of all, make sure you put the magazine in there the right way. All right, first drill that we're going to talk about, I think it's probably the most important drill that you can practice for your everyday carry pistol, is going to be just a single shot from the holster. All right, now I'll talk through this real quick. Cornbread, you can come right here if you need to see. I'll talk through single shot from the holster, how to set up for this and how to do it successfully. By the way, you should start these really slow. All of these drills, do not start going at full speed. All right, first thing you need to do if you're carrying in this position is you need to figure out what you're going to do to get your shirt out of the way, whatever you usually wear. So get used to that. Make sure you have, an idea of what that looks like, if you're coming up from here or whatever works for you. Second thing you need to do, just like drawing any other pistol, is you need to get a nice high grip on the pistol. So you need to shove your hand down in there to where you're going to get set up for a nice high grip on the pistol before it comes out of the holster. All right, if you just grab the pistol grip here and you've got all this space between that beaver tail and the web of your thumb and forefinger, you're going to come out and this thing's not going to set you up for a proper grip. So we're going to get nice and high on the pistol. We're going to draw straight up and out. Now, as soon as it clears the holster, we can drop our shirt. This hand comes up ready to receive the pistol. All right, we're going to go ahead and get the pistol pointed down range and press out toward our target while this hand receives the pistol and our grip comes together and we're on target. We take our shots. All right, so practice that many times to the point that it must just be muscle memory for you to be able to draw this pistol. So single shot from the holster. Again, do this nice and slow, nice and high on the pistol, comes off, ready to receive, down range, point, fingers on the trigger, take your shot, finger out. Now here's the last thing about this drill. Don't get used to taking that single shot and immediately coming off the target and going back into your holster. You'll build some bad muscle memory in there. So once you take your shot, make sure, okay, all targets are down. You can come finger off, do a scan. All right, now reholster your pistol. Work on reholstering your pistol without having to look down at your gear. That way you don't look like the Secret Service lady that everybody saw the video of that couldn't find her daggone holster. I know, it takes work, it takes repetition. Again, start slow. Always go slow. You're just trying to build muscle memory. Single shot from the holster, nice and high. Grip comes together, pointed down range, finger on, take the slack out, take your shot. Finger out, scan, back to center, holster your pistol. All right, that's single shot from the holster. Why is that important? Because that's gonna make a big difference if you ever do have to defend yourself, how fast and accurate you can be getting that pistol out, getting it down range and taking a nice clean shot. All right, next drill that you are going to want to practice is a malfunction drill. All right, so the reason it's important is because if you're not used to practicing an immediate action drill for a malfunction on your pistol, what's going to happen is if you actually have to use it one day, you take that first shot and it malfunctions, you're going to stand there looking at the pistol and trying to figure out what's going on with it, and you're going to lose the fight. All right, so we want to cause this thing to malfunction, and then we want to clear the malfunction. Our immediate action drill to clear the malfunction is going to just be a tap on the magazine. The purpose of that is to make sure or ensure that the magazine is seated well and it didn't drop out when you took that first shot. So we're going to tap the magazine with the palm of our hand. We're going to rotate the pistol, rack the slide, and then we're going to go back on target and try to shoot again. All right, so that's called a tap, rack, bang. That's the immediate action drill for a malfunction. If something goes wrong, that needs to be your brain's immediate response. If you don't practice this literally hundreds and thousands of times, then again, when you do have a malfunction, it's going to freak you out and you're going to look at your pistol, figure out, oh, what the heck's wrong with this thing, and then it's too late. Whatever you were doing has already killed you. The way that we can cause a malfunction is we just take an empty brass casing. We'll load that in our magazine. You can get one of your buddies to maybe load these in random places in your magazine. We have one in the chamber here. So if you load them randomly, you don't know when the malfunction's coming. All right, so we're gonna draw from the holster, point down range, take our shot, malfunction, tap, tap. Oh, we're really locked up right there. So if that happens, at that point you're screwed. You have to drop the magazine out of the pistol, and then you have to try to clear this thing. All right, we're clear, magazine goes back in, new round in, follow up. Whatever happens during this drill, just work through it. All right, just work through it. If you have that tap rack is not always going to clear the malfunction depending on what that malfunction is. All right, it's not always going to work. If that tap rack doesn't work, you try it, whatever, the slide was locked up, that's the more deliberate action for a malfunction is going to be to take that magazine out and then clear whatever's in the chamber. All right, so let's try to get it malfunction where the tap, rack, bang actually works for us. Again, practice these nice and slow. Make it to where, do it enough times to where it's your brain's response when you have a malfunction to tap, rack, and get another round downrange. All right, so the third drill that I think you should practice most often with your everyday carry gun is a magazine change. If you carry an extra mag with your pistol, do the mag change from wherever that extra mag usually is. If it's in your pocket, if it's in, your holster system, if it's in a fanny pack, whatever, practice your mag change from wherever that other mag is, wherever you carry it. The reason I say magazine change is because most of these little pistols that we use to conceal carry or everyday carry have a pretty low magazine capacity. I think this one right here with the +2 holds 8 rounds in it. We can eat through those 8 rounds pretty quick. We need to know how to get a fresh mag in the gun and to get it back up and running and back in the fight. All right, so practice that magazine change. I'll go through the fundamentals for a proper magazine change in a dedicated video because there's a lot of different pieces to it coming up next week, so you guys stand by for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Go get you a dang hat, get you a t-shirt, keep my man Chili in the dungeon. Maybe I'll keep doing these videos. Enough said.